This is horrifying.
Oh, it's glitching out again. Oh.
Stop. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Jarissa Explains. I'm Marissa.
And I'm Jamie. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about creepypastas. A creepypasta is usually an urban legend or story that's passed around the internet that usually involves like paranormal incidences, murder, suicide, or all sorts of like creepy stuff.
A lot of stuff that just can't be explained, I guess.
And we got 4 of them today. There's a whole bunch of them out there, and there's even new ones being created today. But we're just going to bring you 4 of the most popular ones and see how you like them.
Alright, let's get started. The first creepypasta we're going to talk about is Slender Man. Slender Man started off as a fabricated online photo that was created by Eric Knudsen in 2009 for a paranormal photo contest. Slender Man is a tall and thin man with no face. He wears a black suit and is sometimes portrayed with long black tentacles protruding from his back. Originally, Knudsen placed Slender Man in the background of old photos as an eerie, subtle image that would grab people's attention. After the photos were placed on the internet, Slender Man began to take on a life of his own with zero influence from his original creator. News stories and details about Slender Man began to arise throughout the internet, many of which were linked to crimes that were being increasingly blamed on the fabricated creature. The legend of Slender Man later proclaimed that he targeted children, that if you even see him in real life, then it is already too late. Although no real crimes were linked directly to the Slender Man, on May 31st, 2014, the legend was elevated even higher. 2 12-year-old girls in Waukesha, Wisconsin took their friend into some woods and proceeded to stab her 19 times. The girls claimed the violent act was an attempt to impress the Slender Man. The girls survived and the other 2 were placed in a mental institution. I guess this one, that doesn't freak me out too bad, but I don't know. I don't know what's up with that whole story with the girls.
I think this is like more or less a snowball effect. It started off with Knudsen making it as a picture, just like a creepy thing to put in the back of photos to like grab people's attention and make them look at his photos. And then all of a sudden now everybody's like, no, there's something real to it, and they've made movies about it, and then stories keep circulating about and other people's incidences and like stuff like that. And honestly, those 2 girls that like attacked the other girl, they're probably just really deranged to begin with, and just were looking for an excuse to attack that girl, or attack anybody for that matter.
Yeah, like how did this even manifest into their head as like a thing?
To me, more or less, it seems like it's something that they could blame their action on.
True. Yeah, like where do you even get that idea? Like, I don't know, it's just odd.
This more or less is just like folklore, pretty much at this point. And like this is just going to be one of those things that just keeps on going, and he'll keep getting added to new stories and everything. But I really don't think there's a whole lot of merit to it, especially if we know where it actually began. If you know anything about Slender Man and any of these other creepypastas we're getting ready to discuss out there, let us know in the comments below what you think's going on with them. The next creepypasta we're going to be talking about is the Lavender Town Syndrome. The story of the Lavender Town Syndrome supposedly began in Japan in 1996 when the video game Pokemon Red and Green were released. In the game is the town called Lavender Town, and it just so happens to be the place where players can find the haunted Pokemon Tower as well as the Pokemon Graveyard. The background music that plays while visiting the town is full of eerie, repetitive beats and tones. It was this music that is suspected to be the main culprit of the Lavender Town Syndrome. The syndrome apparently was causing children ages 10 to 15 to commit suicide through hangings, jumping off of heights, or self-mutilation. Although there is no real substantial proof of these incidences, many speculate that this story was inspired by an actual event. In Japan in 1997, there was an incident with the popular Pokemon anime series where there was an episode that involved flickering images that caused many children to have seizures. I think now, after like that last part, them saying that they have an idea of what this possibly could have been, I think that's probably what this is. It's the school bus theory, you know, you keep passing around information and so everybody adds on a piece and it becomes something bigger than what it is.
Because honestly, how can you even link, like, you know, music from a game could cause that? It's just, it's so bizarre. Like, I don't know.
It's kind of lofty. I remember playing it like as a kid. Like I always thought that was a little weird area of the game, Lavender Town, because I played red, blue.
You did? You played it?
Oh yeah, on Game Boy. I played red, blue, silver, gold, and it just seemed like weird. We were like, well, why is there a need to have a Pokemon cemetery? But okay, there is a Pokemon cemetery. And,
that is kind of weird and creepy.
Right?
I don't like that.
Some people out there might remember The Simpsons actually did a parody of that whole like flipping out thing.
Yes, I remember that. That's
Yeah.
what I remember.
We'll show you right now.
Who's up for some exploring? Yeah, I'm still checking out Japanese TV. Isn't this that cartoon that causes seizures? Bard, what are you doing? What the?
All right.
But see, yeah, so like, I think that's really what this whole incident was the seizure thing, and it just went on from there.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that makes more sense to me, but just the suicide thing, like, that doesn't make sense.
No, I think that was just added on later for shock value.
Okay. Yeah, probably.
But who knows?
The next creepypasta we're going to talk about is Been Drowned. The Been Drowned tale is a gamer's worst nightmare. The story goes that there was once a college student named Matt, and he went to a local yard sale. At the yard sale, he purchased an old copy of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 64 from an old man. He takes the game home and begins to play. He sees there is already a saved profile on the game named Ben. Matt deletes the old profile and begins his own. He soon realizes that was a mistake. The game slowly starts to glitch more and more as he plays. At certain points, the game's theme music begins to play backwards, and disturbing images sporadically come across the screen. Spooky messages like, "You shouldn't have done that," and "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" began to pop up randomly within the game. Matt continued to play the game and discovers that the previous owner of the game was a boy named Ben, and he drowned. Freaked out by the game, Matt thought no one would believe him, so he proceeded to record some of the scary gameplay and he uploaded it to YouTube. So Jamie has informed me that he has found the footage that this kid uploaded.
Absolutely, I have watched every minute of it. If you haven't seen it and you want, we're going to show you some clips of what's going on with it. But if you want to go and look it up on YouTube, it's pretty creepy.
Okay, and Jamie's gonna show me some of that footage right now. No, what is, you can see like a ghost there. What? No, I don't like it. Oh, I'm gonna have an anxiety attack.
But that other link in there, that's the character link, that other link in there is not supposed to be there.
Oh, his spine is sideways. Why is he sideways?
This is weird. You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
What's this?
He's playing the ocarina.
Backwards?
It's the whistle. Or the flute.
Oh my god, what is that? What's happening?
Okay, that was f***ing creepy. That's not supposed to happen. Listen to the music backwards.
Yeah, I don't like it.
And this thing goes on for about a good 26 minutes. But just skip around.
We will link this entire video down below. So...
Please help me.
What?
And it just restarted its game. Ooh. Okay. So, from some of these clips we saw how the character was basically chasing the guy playing the game through the whole game. He was through the tunnels, he kept following him right behind him. Plus he was lighting on fire at certain moments.
He was sideways.
Yeah, a whole lot of crazy glitched out moments.
Sorry about that, we had to change the battery.
It died on us.
Is the theory that because he deleted Ben's account, that Ben is doing this from the grave?
Yeah, the theory is that Ben's soul is in this video game, and that it was his way of telling the guy that he ended up drowning. This does not rule out the fact that maybe this kid just got a hold of a corrupted copy of Majora's Mask that somebody messed around with. Because plenty of people out there know how to make like mods and stuff of like video games. They do it all the time.
Or could it be that this kid that bought the game maybe did it himself.
True.
And just wanted to get some fame out of that and made up this story to make it creepy.
Well, those are all possibilities in the realm of this creepypasta, but nonetheless, it is creepy.
Yes, it definitely is.
Our last creepypasta we're going to be discussing today is Jeff the Killer. Jeff the Killer is an internet urban legend that keeps many from going to bed at night. The story goes that Jeff moved to a new neighborhood with his little brother and family. He was a quiet loner that had little interaction with others in the area. But one day, some boys from his new neighborhood attacked Jeff and his brother. Jeff fought back viciously against the boys, breaking one of their arms and stabbed another. After defeating the bullies, something changed in Jeff. He discovered he had a taste for hurting people and began to lose his mind. The next night, Jeff took a razor blade and proceeded to remove his eyelids and cut a permanent smile into his face. He then made his way into his family's bedrooms. Before killing each one of them, he whispered, "Go to sleep," into their ear. To this day, they say that if you hear, "Go to sleep," before you are right about to go to bed, then you might be Jeff's next victim.
So why would you do that?
Just all of a sudden flip the script and kill your whole family after some bullies beat you up and you actually defended your family, and then now all of a sudden you decided to kill your family.
Is this absolutely a true story, or is it just like an urban legend?
Just like an urban legend. And I think that's where a lot of these stem from, because then people can sit there and think in their heads, they're like, well, I'm getting ready to go to sleep, and somebody might, I know, especially if like you're a kid and you got like a sibling in your room and you hear "go to sleep."
Yeah, so it's like a real thing that could happen. Somebody could tell you to go to sleep.
Yeah, which makes it weird and it puts the tingles up your spine. But now there's a picture that does circulate on the internet of Jeff the Killer. I'm getting ready to show Marissa here.
Is this a real picture?
That's what they say.
Okay. This is gonna keep me up at night, probably.
Maybe.
Oh God, what? So he doesn't even have top or bottom eyelids?
No, he cut off his eyelids and apparently made his smile real big like the Joker.
Well, I just don't even think that's realistic.
I don't really find it very realistic either, but you gotta have a face to the killer, right?
It looks like maybe that could have been edited or photoshopped, right?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm gonna tell myself.
Yeah. Again, looks like just another fabricated urban legend. It's like one of those campfire stories you go tell, like, hey,
folklore.
If you ever hear when you're about to go to sleep, and you hear "go to sleep," it's Jeff the Killer.
And then you run up to their tent before they're going to sleep and you whisper it.
Go to sleep. I think that's where these things get a lot of momentum from, and I think this is how a lot of these creepypastas keep going and keep living, is because we can imagine in our heads them happening to us, and in doing so they seem to have merit in our minds, which they really don't. Yeah. But let us know down below what you all think.
Yes, and feel free to look up and research these stories on your own.
Absolutely, there's tons more out there. There's a whole bunch of crazy weird ones that pretty much are hitting the same dynamics of creepiness. Thank you for watching and listening to us explain some creepypastas to you that we found interesting ourselves.
Subscribe to our channel for more videos and let us know if you'd like us to do a creepypasta part 2.
Absolutely. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter
at Jarissa Explains. And we will see you all in our next video.
Bye.
Bye.